From the depths of the thrilling Star Wars saga to the ancientness of Stoic philosophy, we find a surprising connection between the fall of Anakin Skywalker and the age-old wisdom of emotional detachment. It's as if Anakin's story vividly reminds us of the dangers that unchecked attachment can bring. Imagine loving someone so intensely that you would be willing to sacrifice everything, even your own essence, to avoid losing them. Anakin, driven by his love for Padme, plunged into the shadows of the Force, desperately seeking to save his beloved. However, what happens when our worst fears materialize? When that which we hold fervently slips through our fingers? The overwhelming fear of loss, so deeply experienced by Anakin, is a fear that resonates with many of us. Often, we find ourselves willing to do anything to keep the people or things we love by our side. But this is not just a story from a distant galaxy. It's a human dilemma that echoes through the ages and finds resonance in the teachings of Stoicism. In this journey, we delve into the depths of human attachment and loss, seeking to understand how Stoic teachings can guide us. By examining these principles, we discover practical steps to distance ourselves from people and situations, not to create a void, but to gain clarity. Sometimes, the wisest action is to create temporary distance. Imagine yourself in a lively party, with loud music and frenetic conversations. Trying to grasp something in that environment is like trying to hear a whisper amidst a tumult. Retreating doesn't mean fleeing, but rather seeking a quieter space where we can reflect clearly. As Seneca wisely said, when you stay, return to yourself. This isn't just about physical space, but also mental and emotional space. By distancing ourselves from our emotions, we can observe them objectively, as if we were watching clouds drifting in the sky, separate from ourselves. This distancing isn't coldness, but rather a way to understand our reactions and the situation more clearly. We can apply this in our daily lives, whether by turning off the phone for a while, going for a walk, or simply taking a moment to be silent with ourselves. The goal is to find a space where our thoughts aren't drowned out by the incessant noise of life, where we can find clarity and inner peace. This is how we approach the Stoic ideal of living with serenity, even in the face of the adversities of human existence. So, I invite you to stay with us until the end, absorbing each step as a practical guide of wisdom to navigate the challenges of human relationships and emotions. Detaching may seem like a daunting task, but we can make it more accessible by following practical steps that help us find clarity and objectivity. As suggested by the wise counsel of Seneca to return to oneself. Imagine being in the middle of a heated argument with a friend. Emotions are running high, and it's hard to see the situation clearly. It's at this moment that we can take the first step towards detachment, creating mental and emotional distance. Instead of letting anger or frustration take over, we can take a step back, take a deep breath, and try to observe the situation from an outsider's perspective, as if we were a neutral spectator. This helps us gain clarity about what's happening and better understand our own emotions and reactions. Another common situation is when we find ourselves stuck in a relationship that no longer makes us happy. We may fear being alone or hurting the other person, so we continue to hold on to something that no longer serves us. In this case, creating emotional distance can be crucial. This doesn't mean shutting down completely or acting insensitively, but rather allowing yourself to recognize and accept your feelings, even if they are difficult. By doing this, you can begin to make more conscious decisions and free yourself from the emotional burden you're carrying. Additionally, we can apply the concept of mental and emotional distance in everyday situations, such as when we feel overwhelmed at work. Instead of allowing ourselves to be consumed by stress and pressure, we can take a few minutes for ourselves, take a break, and recharge our batteries. This allows us to gain clarity about our priorities and helps us make more conscious decisions about how to handle the demands of daily life. Creating mental and emotional distance is a fundamental step towards detachment. By taking a step back and observing situations with clarity and objectivity, we can free ourselves from the shackles of our emotions and make more conscious decisions aligned with our true values and goals. The idea of emotional distancing may sound complex, but it's actually a simple and powerful practice that we can all apply in our daily lives, as Epictetus teaches us. Imagine yourself in a circle of friends where not all relationships are healthy. Maybe there's someone who constantly criticizes or discourages you. Rationally evaluating these relationships means taking a step back and reflecting on how they impact your personal growth and moral integrity. If you find that these relationships are undermining your confidence or compromising your values, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them, even if it's difficult at first. Another common situation is in the workplace, where we often encounter colleagues or bosses who don't share the same ethical principles. By considering rational distancing, we can choose to associate only with those who promote a healthy and ethical work environment. This means establishing clear boundaries with toxic colleagues or even seeking opportunities elsewhere that are more aligned with our personal values. Furthermore, rational consideration of distancing can also apply to our closest personal relationships. For example, if we're in a romantic relationship that constantly makes us feel anxious or unhappy, it's important to evaluate whether this association is truly contributing to our personal growth and emotional well-being. In these cases, it may be necessary to make the difficult decision to distance ourselves to preserve our moral integrity and mental health. The rational consideration of distancing involves carefully evaluating our relationships and associations, choosing those that help us grow and maintain our moral integrity intact. While it may be difficult to distance ourselves from people or situations that have already become part of our lives, it is essential to remember that this practice is fundamental for our emotional well-being and long-term personal development. In this journey towards emotional detachment and rational consideration of distancing, it is crucial to remember the support of trusted confidants. They are like anchors that keep us steady amidst the storms of life, echoing Seneca's vision of the importance of friends as mirrors that reflect our inner truths and provide us with perspective. Imagine applying the principles of emotional detachment in your daily life, but facing difficulties in staying on the right path. At such times, turning to a trusted friend can provide the support and guidance needed to move forward with determination and clarity. They can offer an objective view of the situation and help us reconnect with our deepest values and goals. Rationally considering the distancing from certain relationships or situations, with the support of trusted confidants, can be extremely helpful. They can share their own experiences and perspectives, helping us make more informed decisions aligned with our personal growth and moral integrity. By seeking the support of close friends in times of difficulty or confusion, you are also strengthening your bonds of friendship and cultivating meaningful relationships. These mirror friends not only offer emotional support but also contribute to your process of self-awareness and personal development. As you embark on the journey of emotional detachment and rational consideration of distancing, remember to value the support and guidance of trusted confidants. They are true treasures in our lives, helping us navigate the turbulent waters of existence with wisdom, courage, and compassion. Establishing emotional boundaries is like building a fence around your heart, allowing you to recognize and manage your feelings without letting them dominate your reason, as wisely observed by Epictetus. It's as if we realize that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but rather our thoughts about them. Imagine yourself in a situation where something didn't go as planned. Perhaps you received criticism at work or had a heated argument with a loved one. In moments like these, it's easy to let emotions take over, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and lost. But by establishing emotional boundaries, you can acknowledge these feelings without letting them overwhelm you. You can take a step back, take a deep breath, and reflect on the situation calmly and clearly, allowing your reason to guide your actions. Additionally, taking breaks from social media can be a powerful way to regain mental clarity and focus on what truly matters for your emotional and spiritual growth. We've all found ourselves losing hours endlessly scrolling through the feed, consuming information without purpose or meaning. But by setting aside time to disconnect and reconnect with yourself, you can free yourself from distraction and external noise, aligning with Seneca's emphasis on using time wisely. For instance, instead of spending hours on social media, you can choose to dedicate that time to activities that nurture your soul and promote your well-being, such as meditating, reading an inspiring book, or simply enjoying a moment of tranquility in nature. These pauses can help you realign your priorities, focusing on what truly matters in your life and cultivating a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. In summary, establishing emotional boundaries are powerful practices that can help you maintain mental clarity, preserve your inner peace, and focus on what is truly important for your emotional and spiritual growth. By adopting these practices in your daily life, you will be following the wise teachings of Epictetus and Seneca, finding balance and wisdom amidst the complexities of modern life.